Welcome everybody. This is the second in our series of webinars which we will continue to roll out this year. In these seminars, we will continue to highlight how Prinect software and our expertise can offer much needed help during these difficult times of COVID by offering some fresh ideas and solutions. Prinect is expandable and adaptable in so many ways, some of which you may not have considered, and so we would like to demonstrate some of its features designed to get more out of your different departments and facilities, the aim to bring them closer together and hopefully make you more efficient. Ultimately, we'd like to show you via these webinars that by investing in Heidelberg, we are more than just about machinery. We have ideas and solutions to support you and hopefully be the perfect partner for you. In this session, we would like to continue with Portal, this time showing you how customers can participate remotely to get files in and out of your system and do soft proofing. But let's have a little recap on what Portal is and what we demonstrated to you during the last webinar. Well, what Portal is an easy access to a Prinect workflow just by using a web browser. I must add that it is HTML5 based, therefore it does not use any Java. So if you have customers that want to access remotely, then there'll be no issues there. And a reminder of what we discussed as well during the last session, which is who is Portal for? Well, it's not just for your Prepress department. Your sales administration could use it. In fact, anybody in your factory can use it, and they can use it to access incoming files, create jobs, monitor the status of machines as well as the jobs on those machines. But all this is done as an internally accessed tool, i.e. as long as they are all on the same network within your factory. Now, during the end of the last webinar, some audience participants at the session at the end, while we're having a questions and answers session, raised the question, how about customers or your staff who want to use the system from outside of your building via the internet? Well, with Prepress Portal Service, your customers can use it remotely via the internet. But let's look at your current situation when it comes to proofing for your customers. Do your customers currently try and send you big files via email? Do they send them to you via internet services instead, like WeTransfer.com or MailBigFile.com? Or do you have to manage your own FTP site? Do you currently send soft proofs as PDFs to your customers via that email? Or if they're too big, using those services such as WeTransfer.com? Or would you rather send rendered files for greater integrity rather than big PDF files? And how do your customers respond with their approval when they've had their proofs? Do they do it via an email? Did they phone you up and let you know? And with all this sending and receiving and manual acknowledgements of approval, I bet there's a lot of clicking around. Remembering who sent what, received what, approved what, I'm sure mistakes could happen. Wouldn't you like all this to be a bit easier, a bit more secure, and a lot more traceable, and ultimately automated? Well, let us show you an integrated solution with Prepress Portal Service. All the functions of a secure customer access to upload files, receive easy-to-view soft proofs, and apply approval that could potentially aid in the automation of jobs through your workflow. It is possible while having all of this built into your cockpit. It's easy to use, has complete security, and even an electronic paper trail for you to track everything. So let me show you Prepress Portal Service via a live demo. And to do that, I'm just going to change my screen to Portal. So here we are in Portal again, and this is what I showed you last week. I'm going to use the pending documents again to create a job. Now, last time I dragged and dropped a PDF into this window here to create a job, but I don't want to do that. I'm using Portal as an internal user within your business, not the customer at the moment, just an internal user, maybe somebody in your sales admin department who wants to create a job ready for customers to upload to. So I'm just going to click this button to create an empty shell of a job ready for the customers to upload later. I'm going to put in my job number, my job name, whatever the quantity is, how many pages are intended for this job. I'm going to choose a working process category. Now these are ready-made templates that will have the job all set up and ready to be processed. Choose a material for it to be printed on. Let's go with 130 silk, SRA2. And ultimately, very important now, let's choose a customer because this will be the customer that will be invited via email to upload their files and later on do soft proofing remotely. I just have to finish off by choosing a due date, and I've now created my job. So let's have a look inside of the workflow now. So now I'm inside of Cockpit. I can see a job has been created, and it's an empty shell of a job. No files have been uploaded yet, although there is an imposition waiting for files to come in. So how do customers know that the job is ready and that they need to upload files? Well, we can do this by looking at their email. So I'm going to now flick over to a customer and have a look at their email account, where we can see an email has been received by the customer. It's a very simple email that can be customized with your own text. And you can see there's a little link button here. We click this link. This is what we call a token link. It's got embedded into that link the customer's log-on credentials and their password that will take them straight into our internet portal and directly to the area within it where they need to upload files. So there's no need for them to go browsing, clicking around, trying to figure out where they upload a file. They are taken directly to the right dialog box. So I'm going to drag and drop a PDF directly into this window. While it is uploading, I'm just going to change the recipient to, rather than be the showroom, but to be me, because I'm a CSR and I'm on my laptop here. I'd like to see an email when the file has been uploaded. I'd like to be notified as an accounts person. So I'm just going to put that in. Customer could also put a comment in there. So let's say OK. And now the file is being uploaded from the customer's internet access directly to the system. It's also going to do a pre-flight. This is quite important. The customer will be able to see what's right or wrong with the file. And importantly, a computer system will be telling them rather than a person. I'm sure you've maybe had many a time where you've had to explain to a customer what's wrong with their file via an email or on the telephone, and maybe they've got a little bit offended. This way, it's not a conversation, it's a very factual system that reports back what is right or wrong with the job. They can view that report either as a PDF, which we can open up on screen. Just do that now. Okay, they can see that there's 8 pages been uploaded. They can see the trim size. In this case, there's a lot of heavy ink coverage in the job. Now, a report like this may scare your customers. They probably don't want to see it. Well, there's an alternative. We can open up a PDF that has post-it notes on it instead. I shall open this to show you what this looks like. Typically, they would see whether there are low-res images, whether there are overprints, low-res issues. So that's done. Customers uploaded their file. As far as they're concerned, it is now going into the system. So I'm going to close this down, come away back to my email, and I'm going to draw our attention back to the workflow where we can see that the pages have come in. we can see that there have been some issues. We can see that they've automatically dropped into a page list here and even dropped into the imposition. However, my workflow has been configured to send the pages back for approval after they have been processed. And you may notice as well that there are some little grayed out icons here on screen that we will see coming into action a little bit later. I can also see an icon that's just appeared this second to tell me that the job has been proofed. Down the bottom here, it tells me that it's been sent to the customer and is requiring approval. If I try and open up one of these PDFs to have a look in Acrobat on the system, I even get a warning to tell me that the job is being proofed at the moment. That's a mechanism to stop me going and editing the file when it's in fact in the process of needing approval and really shouldn't change. So let's go back to the customer and see what they would see in terms of a indication that the file is waiting for proof. So let's have a look here at this last email that's dropped in. So again, a covering letter. There's a little proof link for the customer to click on. So let's click that proof link and it should take them again straight back into the portal, not requiring a password, but this time it takes them straight to the proofing area where we can see a book animating page turning proof of their job. I can click to zoom in to check things if I need to. I can approve or reject individual pages by using these nice clear buttons here. Or if I want to, I could use one of these approve all buttons to say that all is okay, except page 2. So I'm going to put an exception page in to say everything is accepted apart from page 2. So now when I turn the pages back to get to page 2, I should see, there you go, there's a red cross on that page there. Now, as a customer, I can't go browsing around looking at other things. I can only see what's been sent to me. So let's log out of the system one more time, okay, and close this down. Let's return back to the workflow to see what's happened. Now you can see these icons have now come to life. You can see on page 2 that that has not been accepted by the customer. If I hover over there, I should get a little pop-up that tells me the customer's comments. If I can get it to work. There we go. All is okay except for page 2. Comes up in the little tooltip that pops up. Now, what if the customer wants to replace that one page? Well, they can do. So let's return back to the customer again. And I'm back into my email here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this function now, certainly the upload area if I can, if it will let me, to get back into the job. I'm going to cancel this because I'd like to do this another way. In the background, I can see that the job has previously had its upload. We looked at the pre-flight before, but at the top here, I can see pages. And by clicking on it, I can now see a page list. I can see the page that has been rejected by myself, the customer. I also have the ability to replace that page. So let's do that. Let's click replace, and now let's drag and drop a new file in. So I do have here a replacement PDF waiting. Let's drag and drop. Again, let's do my OK to upload it. Let's OK that. I might have a chance to see that file replace. I'm just going to hit the refresh button. And look, you see it's gone green now. Yeah, that's been already uploaded and into the system. I could, if I wanted to, rather than waiting for the email to come back, I can actually jump the gun now and actually approve this job directly from within this page. That's when the proof has been sent, and I'm just waiting for that to be done right now. I'm going to do another refresh, and now you see I have the ability to do an approval. So rather than waiting for my email, I'm going to cut to the chase and go, yes, I am absolutely happy that this is okay. And this time, it has taken me to a different way of viewing the file. I can go back to a book proof if I want to. Here I am here in the book proof. And here's my green page that's been replaced. Or I can go back to the advanced approval tool, which is what it took me to directly. Because in this view here, I can zoom in on sections of the job. I can check that the bleed is okay. Let's have a look at the bottom corner there, if it will let me. Here we go. I'm just zooming in on that corner there. I can see the bleed, I can see the trim area. If I need to take a color reading, I can do. I can get a sample of what that Pantone color is there, for example. Yeah. I can take measurements if I need to see how big that bar is. So I can see that that is, let's have a little look there. That's 4 millimeters high. Yes, I see that there. And I'm just going to say I'm okay with this. I approve this page. Looks good. Accept. And that has been sent. Come away. I come away. And if I change back over to my workflow, I should see that my pages have all been approved. In my imposition, it has automatically been replaced. Here it is here. And down the bottom here, you can see that it's automatically released the job through what we call an auto sheet mechanism to start outputting the plates. It could be that it goes to do an imposition proof, and I could repeat the process again if I wanted customers to approve imposed proofs. So, just one last thing to show you. All that was automatic. What if you wanted to upload your files and just manually vet them within your cockpit before they just started processing automatically? Well, with Prepress Portal Service, we have the ability to view here all the uploads that have been coming into the system. So there's my 2 uploads, and each of these could have been configured to just sit here and wait before they process, and then I would have had the ability down the bottom right here to browse to the files, to open up its pre-flight report, or if it hadn't already, copy and submit the file across and into the workflow. If, let's say, it's a file that you don't want to process, it could be an InDesign file or a logo or an image, this is effectively acting like an inbuilt FTP service, then you have the ability to press browse and go straight to a directory where you can see those files that were uploaded. That's a brief view of Prepress Portal Service, how easy it is for the customers to see and use, and how it integrates directly into the workflow. So, as we discussed last time, what's the ultimate benefit of all of this software doing what it does? Well, it's to get more out of your equipment by using the power of software. And that's because over the lifespan of a job, from an inquiry, an estimate, all the way through to invoice and shipping, over 55% of the processes of a job occurs before you even make a plate. And whereas in the past we've focused all of our R&D on the machinery aspect of CTP and presses and our post-press equipment, we've realized that you can't really improve any more on this machinery if we don't consider all these processes that precede them, especially if these departments of yours are maxed out. Let's use software to loosen up and give you a bit more efficiency in these areas in order to produce more work. So rather than focusing on the machinery aspect, let's focus more on the processes in order to improve for you. Let's focus on the yellow bar, because the yellow bar accounts for 37% of your overall equipment efficiency burden. It can push your OEE, typically in the industry, down to 27% by having this at a typical 37%. And that's because we can't improve the machinery beyond its realistic performance. The machines already run at their maximum speed. You have to stop the machines in order to do plate changes. You have to stop the machines via night shift, maybe. So there's a realistic limit to what you can do with machinery, but there's an awful lot of potential that we can achieve with processes. And ultimately, by getting your process burden reduced down to 10%, that will increase your overall equipment efficiency. So we believe we can help you with Prinect software and support from Heidelberg. This is really where things can be gained. So to finish off, I have a couple of questions and answers to start things going. Firstly, how do you get hold of this Prepress Portal Service functionality? Well, the answer is by providing that your Prinect system is on contract to keep it on the latest version, you can purchase the license for this software module. If you're not covered by a contract, then investing in Production Manager would be the only way to get onto the latest version. And anybody that already has Production Manager can apply for this Prepress Portal Service license free of charge. However, are there any other costs in order to get Prepress Portal Service up and running? Yes, there are. As well as installation and training costs, Prepress Portal Service would require its own dedicated server, as well as a PC to act as what we call a reverse proxy. This is for internet security. The reason why it runs on its own server is that if customers are uploading files or you're sending soft proofs to them, you wouldn't want the burden of your main server to be compromised by files being uploaded and sent. Plus, as well, at the end of the demonstration, I showed you how you could have it in a holding area to vet the files before you bridged them across within the workflow. Although in our demo, we did it automatically. So thank you for taking the time to watch this little webinar on Prepress Portal Service. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at dave.naylor@heidelberg.com. Until the next webinar session, take care, thank you very much, and bye-bye.